What is up, everybody? Bryce here, coming at you with yet another quick crypto market update. And today I am in a hotel room in Orlando. In fact, I was doing a little, I was getting interviewed actually by somebody who's doing a 10-part docu-series on crypto. It's going to be 20 hours long. It's called Crypto Uncensored. And they reached out. They've been listeners of the podcast, and they wanted to interview me. And so I talked about DeFi and all the coins that I love, and I'm really excited for that. But that's why I'm not in my usual place. You guys are used to seeing me in the streets of San Diego. But I had a really important note that I wanted to kind of drop you guys right now. And that's why I'm just in my hotel room, but it's important, right? And so this idea that, Bitcoin's dominance has actually started to grow over the course of the last couple weeks, right? Bitcoin has been flexing a lot of strength on the altcoin market. And I think a lot of people, if you haven't been following the model portfolio or anything, people might have already been all in on altcoins with no Bitcoin. And they're starting to say, well, hold on. I thought altcoins are correlated with Bitcoin. Why isn't it rising as well? And there's a couple things going on right here. There's a couple dynamics at play, if you will. The first one is that we're coming out of a correction, right? BTC bottomed at 30K, the entire market bottomed at 30K, and we're still below all-time highs. And so the market generally, the first money in asset, right, during these rebounds is generally going to be your larger cap assets, right? The more liquid, the more secure, the assets that the market has the most confidence in, the ones that are lowest on the risk spectrum, if you will. So Bitcoin clearly has been that first money in asset. But that doesn't last forever, right? That trend changes as the market, again, it's going to break out of its all-time high above $64,000. A lot of people are going to, get into a buying frenzy for Bitcoin. And I think that as the market, clears the next high, right, at $64,000, then and only then will the altcoins kind of have room to run, right? Because if we're still under that resistance, altcoins still have a little bit of pressure, and since they're a lot less liquid than Bitcoin, I think that really like because of the fact that they're less liquid means that the institutions are not moving in there first, right? They're waiting for the entire space to kind of get enriched through a big move from Bitcoin, and then as people start to FOMO into Bitcoin at 60, at 70, at $80,000, that's when they're going to start taking profit and then recycling it into the smaller altcoins that haven't pumped yet, essentially. And so that's kind of what I see. It's like that's typically how money moves. It goes in, it starts in Bitcoin and then it trickles down to mid caps, to small caps, to micro caps, and then out through, back up through Bitcoin. And so my message that I wanted to say is, again, that's why we have a core piece of the model portfolio in Bitcoin. And we always have. And, Bitcoin is, the first, it's, the most secure. It's got the largest network effects. And so it's still, a very, very strong asset to hold. But it's times like these when I think people get discouraged, right? They say, well, I'm holding all these altcoins and I'm not holding any Bitcoin. Should I go chase Bitcoin? And I think that's probably what a lot of people are asking right now. Should you go chase? And my answer is no. My answer is actually hold on to your convictions, right? If you bought an altcoin and you're managing your risk well, you've got your stop losses and you've got plenty of money for your living expenses and all that kind of stuff, but you're starting to speculate in the altcoin market. I would stick to your guns. I really do think that there will be a rotation back. As Bitcoin breaks above its all-time high, people will start taking profit and greed will step back into the market, right? Greed always has a way of finding itself back into the market. And so I would say stick to your guns. There will be a rotation, right? No trend ever goes up forever or down forever. There's fluctuations, right? And so you want to make sure that you're not psyching yourself out. You want to make sure that as you're seeing Bitcoin rise, well, if you don't have any, you probably should have some, right? That's why, again, 20% of the portfolio is in Bitcoin. And, because at the end of the day, if Bitcoin fails, generally, in my opinion, everything else will fail. But if Bitcoin succeeds, it doesn't mean that everything else will succeed, right? And so, Bitcoin's been de-risked. It should absolutely be a piece of your portfolio. But I'm using this opportunity to to basically, get a lower cost basis on a lot of the, Ethereum based DeFi application coins that I'm long on, full disclosure, that I think do have, most of the upside potential over the course of the next, year, call it. I'm a full believer that as Bitcoin takes off, people will take profit and they'll look for these smaller market cap coins that still have great fundamentals, that have been around for a long time, and that still, have tremendous upside. So that's kind of the message I wanted to come at you guys with today from, a very humid and drizzly Orlando. But yeah, stick to your guns. And if you guys have been, feeling discouraged because Bitcoin's moving and your altcoins aren't moving, it's a great exercise in patience, okay? Patience. And if you're feeling in your gut like you don't have enough Bitcoin and you're way too heavily skewed altcoins, then don't be afraid to, take a little bit off your altcoins and toss it into Bitcoin, right? That's fine. But I want to warn everybody against these extremes, right? Where people say, oh, Bitcoin's moving, so I'm going to sell all my altcoins and go all into Bitcoin, right? Because once that mentality takes hold, you're toast, right? So you want to be tempered, right? You want to have a good temperament and you want to see things for what they are. And of course, Bitcoin's first money asset, biggest, so it's leading the charge, right? But others will follow, okay? Others will follow. And it's very important for you guys to understand that. So that's the market update. And now, if you're curious about which coins you think will be following or which ones won't be following, well, you should subscribe to our research and our newsletter and we've got a big group of over 10,000 investors, crypto investors that are watching our trades. We put out trade alerts, buy prices, sell prices, fundamental analysis on coins that we believe in, and all that kind of stuff. And guys, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that orange button below. It's $1 for a 2-week trial. You can come and see, get a feel for it for yourself. And guys, the bull market, guys, Q4 is going to be a fantastic quarter. It's historically the best quarter in crypto. We don't expect that trend to change. So stick to your guns. Keep buying fundamentally strong altcoins like the ones in the Crypt Nation model portfolio and the other ones we put out, trade alerts. And if you guys aren't subscribed, hit that button below, guys. Peace.